Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mid-America Dirt. I'm Skip, and I am super excited to be joined by Chris Loberg. Better known around these parts, Chris, is Yankee Chris.
Yankee Chris. Yep.
Yankee Chris.
Yankee Chris.
And
A gr-
we're both gearing up for this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway. You for different reasons than me. What are you going to be doing at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend?
well, I'm going to go up and just kind of direct chaos for a little bit, I think. No, I got a good group of late model guys um that I'm so excited to be a part of this late model series. Because week in and week out, we go to a Nevada Speedway, we go to Belleville High Banks, big or little, it don't matter. It's always almost a photo finish for everything. The racing is so good, and I wave very little caution flags, you know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back with my boys again. It's been a long time.
Yeah. And so for people who don't know, you are the flagman for the Revival Super Dirt Series, and they have championship that Deuces Wild Championship weekend at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track, and you're going to be flagging. I'm assuming the late model portion of that. Is that correct?
Yes, they have a flagman for the sprint cars. I'm pretty sure they have a flagman for the modifieds. So, and that's fine. I can concentrate. I really need to concentrate because it's championship weekend. There's going to be 40 to 50 late models. I need to be on top of my game more so than I normally am, you know. No mistakes ever.
Yes, I've watched you flag one time. I've got the privilege of watching you flag, and it was at the Fight Like a Kid race at KM. Actually, I have probably seen you flag several other races and didn't realize it. Because I didn't know who you were. But I got to see you at KMS for sure, and got to meet you down there at that race. And I've been wanting to get you on here ever since. And I thought, man, this would be a good week to get you on here, and before that championship weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to leave. It's about 4 hours from the house. We're going to try and be down there late morning. So there's a couple things that I like to do. I like to go up and get familiar with the flag stand, the switches, and my positioning where I need to stand to get those switches on and off real fast. I like to look at every track's where their lights are, and I know Texas is going to have lights all over, but each track is a little different. And one thing I do, and people don't realize maybe, is, and I'm not going to say any names, but we have one driver that's colorblind. So I'm
Okay.
not treating him any different than I would anybody else. There are no favorites. But what I do is I check out lights at each track and where they are. Like one track has only a set of green, yellow, and red lights on the back stretch. The front stretch has got a yellow light. Well, he can't see those colors, so I go and check the lights, and then I go to him and I just say, this is what it is, because it just alleviates a lot of crashes and damage. And he knows what to look for,
Okay.
is what it's up to. So I give him a little heads up on how the lights work at each track,
Okay.
and I don't think that's playing favorites. If he doesn't know, that puts the rest of the guys in a position too. So I just
Right.
try to do the best I can with that.
Yeah, seems like good safety sense there to me.
Yeah, that's
On
all it's
that one.
for. It's just safety.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Chris, how long have you been flagging dirt track races?
Flagging.
Yeah.
I think everybody will be a little surprised at this, but 2023 was my first year flagging. Bryce Hall approached me and we talked at Tri-State Speedway in the fall of 22. That was the summer that I moved here from up in Iowa. And he says, I'm looking for a flagman. And I says, well, I can try that and see what it is. So the following spring, I got to mention a couple of my favorite safety guys, Tiny and Kirk. If they see this interview, they're going to know who we're talking about. We were at a meeting. I introduced myself as the flagman, and both of them looked at me and kind of sneered. And Tiny says, I hate flagman. I've just about been run over and everything else because nobody pays attention. And at the end of the year, to make the story short, he come up to me and he says, I got to eat a big crow. He says, you've done a really good job. I trust you completely. So, but it was that conversation that I think about that every time I go on the stand as I look where my guys are, my infield guys, my track workers, what's going on, and just make sure that everybody's safe. I want my drivers safe. I want my track crew safe. I want everybody good to shoot the BS at the end of the night. I don't want no problems. So I try to be very heads up with that.
That's cool. That is cool. So you've been flagging since 2023. Tell me your racing story, Chris. Where are you from and how did you get into racing?
Oh, good Lord. Okay, let's do this real fast. So actually, there's this black and white picture behind me. That's
Okay.
1975. That's the first car I worked on 50 years ago this year. I was a little 8-year old. I lived a block over from that late model. My little hands could get up and hold wrenches and stuff. So I hung out with them for about 3 or 4 years until he retired and had a great time, learned a lot of stuff. Then I was a spectator, but I brought my camera to the track, and this was up at the Minneapolis area, Cedar Lake Speedway,
Okay.
kind of up north by Lake Superior, Superior Speedway at the time, Proctor Speedway, the Iron Range. Um, I started taking pictures and I took pictures, oh my gosh, all over the place. I was track photographer at a lot of different places. And when the World of Outlaws come around the first time with the late models, I was their photographer for the area up there.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I have boxes and boxes of old pictures like you wouldn't believe.
And
So
and for people that don't know, I've actually you told me the other night when we talked, you post a lot of those on a Facebook page. 2020. Tell me the name of that Facebook page again.
2020 racing history.
And no joke, y'all, I went on there and looked, and Chris has got some awesome, awesome vintage racing pictures. It's impressive just what I've little bit that I've seen
Oh,
is pretty
it's
impressive.
just a drop in the bucket. The old racing t-shirts I have, the old pictures, it's all in boxes. I don't know what I'll ever do with it all, but it is what it is. So I moved to Carson City, Nevada for a little bit. I did the photographer thing out there. Got to meet some super modified midget guys, Mel Kenyon and Davey Hamilton and that. Ron Hornaday, Southwest Tour guys. Then I come back and I dropped the cameras and I started pitting for a couple of guys. One guy was a dirt late model guy up north, and then he went ASA racing, the old American Speed Association, and I was his jackman for a little bit.
Cool.
Then I
That's cool.
basically pit crewed for quite a few years, and then I got the wise idea to get a pavement race car. And I raced pavement race cars for, I don't know what it was, about 12 years or something like that.
Okay, now
Coup
where were you racing? Where were you racing at when you were doing that? Up there in
well,
the upper Midwest?
all over Wisconsin, all over Minnesota. There was one trip to Iowa, one trip to Illinois. The biggest thrill I ever got is I raced the Milwaukee Mile 4 times, and I won the race twice, and I finished second
Nice.
twice.
Hey, that's
You know
awesome.
that track there, you can have a hot dog and a something to drink on the straightaway before you even have to look for the corner. It's just
Yeah.
super easy to drive. It's just 150 miles an hour. So,
Wow. Okay.
but yeah. So I did that, and then I don't know. I had a midlife crisis, and I bought a car from Jason Cummins. It was a Skyrocket, USRA modified. Just jump right in the top class and think nothing of it. And I should have used my head a little better because that wasn't the thing to do. But I did, and we ran USRA modifieds up at Deer Creek and Fountain City, Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Yep.
Fairmont Speedway, Hamilton County, you know, Mason City. I got a story about Mason City. I got to tell you that one in a bit,
Okay, let's hear it.
but that's until 2021 was the last year that I raced. We moved down this way in 2022. I went to two races is all I did in 22, and one of them was Bryce Hall was there. So that's how I
Okay.
got started flagging. But I had all them years of behind the wheel racing, which really helps me being heads up on as a flagman. That helped tremendously with that.
Uh,
So
those years that okay, so you got into the USARA modified. Did you race that the entire time you were dirt racing?
yep. Yep,
Okay.
week in and week out. We'd run Friday nights over at Mississippi Thunder, and there's no competition there. It was only Lucas Schott and Dustin Sorensen, Jake Tim, Brent Larson, Bob Tim. I mean, I can keep going right on. And I got on the front row one time and I was scared to death. I was scared like you wouldn't believe. I just held my foot on the rug and hoped for the best, you know? And pretty soon these damn kids come by me and it's like, yeah, I expected that, but I
uh,
held my own for about two or three laps. So
I gotcha.
it was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
that's some pretty big names there on that one.
Oh, every week, that's who I had to run against.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was your favorite track to run on up there? Did you have
Oh
one?
gosh. Oh, I mean, each one of them. Actually, one of my favorites is Fort Dodge, Iowa. And I
Okay.
completely destroyed a race car there, but I really like the place. Um,
That is that's that oh what's it
they
Sports
just had a
Park
hundred
Raceway?
thousand dollar. They
Yeah.
just had $100,000 to win stock car race this year.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know. There's some tracks you just like, and I didn't dislike any track. It's just it depends on what the weather was doing. I never really
Right.
chased points, so to speak. We just kind of drove around and had a good time. Met a lot of people.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But that track at Fort Dodge, I've heard other people say that they really like that track also.
Oh,
I
it's
interviewed a guy from up in that area, a Mod 5 driver, and I think he said that was his probably his favorite track up there.
yep, Sports Park Raceway.
Yeah.
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 Well, so yeah, and as far as family goes, I think it was I started my daughter racing when she was 7 in quarter midgets, and then we went to mini modifieds at Mississippi Thunder. She had a pure stock and then she went to a B mod for about 3 or 4 years. But her back condition with scoliosis just had her stopped. You know,
Oh
she
man.
was getting fast enough that it hurt, so she stopped. But so that's something me and my daughter did. I met my wife. Um, our first date, she came down to the house, and both me and my daughter loaded up my race car, and the three of us took off to Mason City Motor Speedway when it was a big track. It was a half mile. And we made a lap and a half in practice following Ricky Thornton Jr. at the time. And it rained out. We drove back to Subway, had a sandwich, and she's still with me after 8 years. I can't figure
That's
that out.
awesome.
I proposed to her in front of the grandstand at Deer Creek Speedway.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
everything has just been at the racetrack. We are racers.
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome. Okay, so let's talk about some of these pictures you took back in the day that I've been seeing, and you tell me about this. Now, these are before kind of my time watching dirt track racing. What is the deal with those late models with all that stuff on there, like all that the wing or whatever that is on the back fender, like they've got back there? Is that for some kind of aerodynamics thing they were trying, or what?
oh, that was aerodynamics, and it was more. I think it put more of a push in the car and put more drag on it than what they even realized. But they used to run sprint car tires on the back, and it was a hodgepodge of what you brung pretty much. And
I
then the
noticed
cool,
that they're not all the same either. I mean, they
no,
all had
no,
kind of different stuff.
there was no body templates. There was no droop rules. There was no nothing, you know. I mean, I would be afraid I wouldn't put it past some of the guys to use exhaust tubing for the roll cages, you know. So to make them
Uh,
light, it
right.
was just truly an outlaw run what you brung thing, you know.
Yeah.
But then Charlie Schwartz come along with that mid-engine car, and that's when kind of the whole country went, wait a minute, because the following year we had stock front nose pieces, and you know there was actual body rolls and stuff after that. So yeah.
Yeah. He always did have kind of a, I mean, I've seen stuff, pictures of his stuff before, and it was always pretty wild, right? Right, design wise,
Oh, and
it
everybody
seems
was
like.
crazy. Yeah, everybody was crazy in their own ways with aerodynamics and what they thought worked, you know. So, and I got tons of pictures of that stuff, you know. It's just it's crazy to think
Yeah, I know.
what it is and what it is now.
Yeah, you've almost from. I mean, the way it sounds, you almost got like a racing museum, uh, quality top stuff. I mean,
Uh,
in quantity. Because I noticed your post the other night. I don't know if it was the last night I looked at it or the night before. And you said you found another tub, full of old pictures, and
I I did. It's right in front of me here. It's full right to the brim with photo albums that I haven't seen in 20 years,
wow,
you know.
a
And
treasure trove.
I know I got a headshot of Billy Moyer when he was about in his late 20s, early 30s. So that's
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll start posting some of that after Texas when we quiet down with the schedule a little bit. I'll put a few of them up on the website there. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I've still got to go through there and look at all those posts that you put on there, which I mean, there are a lot of cool posts. That's a pretty cool little Facebook page. I like it.
it is.
But
It is.
but yeah, as far as your flagging, so is Texas it for you? Is that it for you this year?
Yeah, yeah. So Texas is it, and I'm good with that. I need a little bit of a break here because what people don't know maybe is I've been flagging for a little over a full year now. Last year at this time, I was asked to do wintertime indoor go-karts up in
Okay.
Van Buren, Arkansas. So I did that every Friday night until when was that? About March. And then the following week, I went up to Lucas Oil. I was Lucas Oil's flagman for about till about June this year. And I got talking with Tyler a little bit, and he told me what he has, and it's like, now why haven't I paid attention to this?
Yeah.
So so I decided, you know, I'm after talking to Tyler and Jacob a little bit, you know, these guys really care about what the racer is all about,
Yes.
you know, and that is me. That is me right there. I'm not one of those that wants to be part of a, you know, something else. These guys really care, and their series is going to grow like you can't even imagine within 5 years here. I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be the standout series like the old NCRA was in this region, you
Yeah. I
know.
hope so. And
Yeah.
they care about late models in our part of the world, and we need more late models in a decent paying series over here in our part of the world for sure.
Yeah, and what people probably don't know is Jacob races. But he's always got one eyeball on the program, obviously. But Tyler is our eyeballs in the infield. So I have Courtney as a race director, and Courtney does a fantastic job as a race director. She's a very good race director. Um, and the three of us, we just kind of talk together. I have pretty much free reign to throw a yellow flag or whatever the situation is, you know. But if Tyler sees something, it's right here, you know, yellow, yellow, and you know, because he's watching one thing, I'm watching something else, and Courtney's trying to watch the whole works while she's keeping track of the my race pass, you know,
Right.
the standings and whatever, you know. and
Yeah.
it's chaos. So there's three eyes, hopefully, that see everything at one point, So, but Tyler's the guy in the infield doing that. And after the races are done, Tyler goes and visits a lot of people. You won't see him for 2 hours because he goes and visits with people.
Yeah, he is. He's busy.
He
Always super busy.
cares.
Yeah.
They care how the race program was done. They ask, what do you think we could have done any better? I mean, we're wanting to improve. So he does that, every race he goes off and he talks to people, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how they're getting so good at what they do, is because
Yeah.
it's not just like this, their way, they talk to people and see how they can get better, you
Yeah.
know.
I've had the pleasure of watching several revival races this year, and it always runs really well.
Oh,
It
we all
it
try
it
our hardest.
it run everyone I've seen runs really well. I mean, it was impressive. I mean, to see it go. I had a blast at every one I went to. I really
Yep.
did.
Yep. We work really, really hard to make sure that time trials are run just A to B. Just let's get this done. Bam, let's go. We always discuss ahead of time what we're going to do with time trials, the heat races and pole dash and stuff like that. I mean, what can we do? And if I see somebody bobble a little bit, I mean, I've got my hand on that yellow, but I'm going to give them a chance to get themselves corrected a little bit, depending on what the situation is. You
Right.
know, if I feel like it's going to be a safety thing, then that yellow light is going to come on, you know.
But
Um,
it's not just automatic. I mean, as soon as
no,
somebody turns around, that's
no,
good because that. I mean,
no.
I don't know so that can get aggravating sometimes, especially when yeah, as soon as that yellow comes out, somebody just they're right back into it. So
As
that is
long
that is
as
that's
long as
awesome.
as long as I feel like it's safe, as long as the guys are going to be safe, I'll give them a little bit to get them self-organized again. But if I feel like if they're running across tires and stuff like that, moving tires and running stuff over, I'll just, throw the yellow. Let's reorganize, guys. Take a breath and let's finish this up. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like up at Belleville High Banks. Kylan had a good lead, and it was coming to 2 laps to go, and I saw a guy put his hand out the window like this and slow up, but he couldn't get down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 2 laps to go. I gave him just a little bit, but he had a black car and you can't see that. Gave him just a little bit and I turned the caution on. I don't want to turn the caution on with 2 laps to go. I want them guys to finish up what they started.
right.
With that guy there, it's a safety thing. He couldn't get down. So I'm not going to leave him high and dry. I'm going to make sure that he's safe. So
Yeah. How switching gears a little bit, how I love the Thought Like Kid race. It's an awesome thing. That was super fun for me. How nervous were you getting toward the end of that?
nervous? No, I'm not. I'm not nervous.
Oh, that fog rolling in. Oh, that made me that made me now you may have had a better view.
No,
With
I was on the radio with them. And I said, if that fog gets any lower, I says, we ain't gonna do this. We got to let it roll away. Doesn't matter if it's only two cars or whatever. It's fog, you know.
yeah.
Um, but no, that didn't make me nervous. I was watching very, very carefully though.
Oh,
I was
I
watching
bet you
real
were.
carefully.
Because
Yes.
I was up, I was up by the press box filming it, and but so you were obviously closer and down closer to the track and stuff. But man, it
Yeah.
it was kind of hard to see over in on like turn two in that backstretch every once in a while. I was like,
It
holy
was.
cow! I
It
cannot
was.
believe how I thought it was smoke at first. I thought somebody was like cooking out or something back there, and there was just a bunch of smoke coming in. But I was like, no, that's fog, and
You
sure
know,
enough, it was.
here's my experience again. I was up at Superior Speedway, which is up by Lake Superior, middle of summer, and all of a sudden the temperature went from 80 degrees to 35 degrees because the wind started blowing off the lake. It's a mile off the
Oh
lake,
my
and the
gosh.
fog started rolling in. The fog started rolling in. Yes. So I remembered what they did. You know, they kept the classes moving, and because they did, the disturbance kept the fog up.
Up
As
off the
long as
ground.
they had the
Okay.
cars kept moving, the fog would stay up. So that's why I was telling them, you know, let's keep rolling here, keep rolling.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it and the fog would only come down so far, and you could see that the cars on the track were just kind of keeping it up. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't down in the cars. I would have thrown a red flag if it would have come down,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but the turbulence is what kept it up.
So you have seen
So,
fog come in that fast, being from up there.
oh,
I know how quick the weather can change up there. Even at Chicago, we've just drove through Chicago. It was nice. All of a sudden, there's clouds. We go around and come back the other way, and then there's a snowstorm.
yeah.
I mean, it gets crazy up there. The weather does. So
July
you've seen
4th,
that
it
stuff
snowed.
before.
July 4th up on Lake Superior at the racetrack, it snowed that one year. I had my winter jacket in my car all
Holy
year.
cow!
Yeah, yeah. So,
Wow.
you know what? I didn't finish my story. I was flagging go-karts all winter long.
Oh yeah, I was going to
Went
ask you about
to
that too.
yeah, went to Lucas, you know, till June. Hooked up with Tyler and them and started flagging with their stuff. And then in between there, I was at a few other different tracks besides just kind of helping Arclitect Speedway in Louisiana. They got something good really going down there. They got a great new owner. They got Miss Marla's a great race director. It's really a good thing they got going. But I figured out what was it? I was in 7 states. It's going to be 7 states and 30 different racetracks. And I can't remember if it was like 65 or 70 nights or something like that, because there were some 2, 3, and 4 day events that I was at, you know. So,
Yeah.
but Minnesota, was it Minnesota, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and we're going to finish up in Texas here.
Yeah, that is
So,
awesome. Now, when you were racing, had you been to that many tracks when you were racing, or is that the most tracks you've
oh,
ever been to in a season?
yeah, no, I did the Hell Tour one time a long time ago. That was just in a month. You know, you're on your second race car and your fourth motor in a Walmart parking lot, and you don't even know what state you're in, you know? Um, yeah, we had Freddie Smith on that tour and Jack Boggs and a few other guys. There was some pretty heavy hitters. We won a couple
That is.
races, but
So you race late models too?
I didn't. I was a pit guy. I was a pit guy for
Oh,
a
okay. I
guy by
gotcha.
the name of Rick Auckland.
I
And
know that name. Yep.
how that ever come up is we were at Cedar Lake Speedway and I was pitting for another guy, and Auckland was there, and he says, I'm looking for some help. I want to go start on the Hell Tour. And the driver says, well, here's your help right here. He says, tag him along. So I did. It was him and me and another guy, and off we went. Destroyed 2 cars and 4 or 5
Golly,
motors, and then we come home.
man.
So
Yeah, I remember that name, Rick Auckland. I may have seen him around West Plains every once in a while. I don't
it
know.
probably number 12.
Yeah.
Number 12, yeah.
Now are you going to do the go kart thing again this winter?
No, no.
Okay.
This old boy's arm needs a little break. I'm gonna, although if somebody called and had some wheelbarrow races somewhere, I'd probably go do that.
I gotcha. How's that go
But
kart racing? Because I've got a lot of people a lot of these guys start out in go karts. I've got a lot of people asking me to go check out the go kart races. I've never been. Is it pretty fun?
well, the track is smaller, and your reflexes have to be just so lightning fast. You know, they can get a 10 lap heat race done in just a matter of just a blink of an eye. So that really was pretty, that changed my flagging style actually, because I got a little more heads up. I mean, I'd like to think I was heads up before that, but I was a little more heads up after that, you know,
Okay.
um, because everything happens so fast. But it's like anything else, you know. You got the football, kids football and baseball, and there's always disagreements and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
And do they have pretty good car counts at that?
yeah, they did. They did. You know, it was about a 2.5 to 3 hour program, and
Okay.
they had lots of different classes and stuff. And a couple of the kids have been racing over in Tulsa. There's that little there's a midget track. I forget what it's called over there, but there's a couple kids that race those 600 micros or something over there.
Port City,
Um,
is that what you're thinking of?
Port City, yeah,
Yeah.
Port City. Too many racetracks this year.
There's a bunch of them.
Um,
Yeah.
so then I know there's a young man that won a championship in his pure stock. So they were all racing go-karts. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun to watch the kids develop too. I like watching that, especially
Yeah.
the girls. I'm a
Uh,
favorite of the girls. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a girl dad and a girl grandpa now. So I'm, I'm all about
yep,
that. And if you watch my show, you know that I am. So,
yep,
that
yep.
is cool to see. And, but yeah, I'd like to check that out. I'd like to see that. Is
Yeah,
that one you
go
were talking about? Is it indoor or something?
the the one that I was doing, yes, it was indoors, and believe
Okay.
it or not, it was at the Cowboy Church in just north of Van Buren, and it was an
Okay.
indoor arena that they had for like horses and rodeo and stuff.
Yeah.
And every
Okay.
Friday night, Jason Chapman would have to build the racetrack. And when he was done on Friday nights, he'd have to unbuild the racetrack and put it back into a arena.
Golly.
Yeah. So he
Hey, that's
worked.
dedication right there.
Yes. He did a very good job at that. So it was a different racetrack every time.
Wow.
Every Friday that he ran, it was a different racetrack.
That is
So
awesome. That
yeah,
is awesome.
so yeah, go
I'm
take
gonna
a kart race in.
I'm gonna have to because I mean I just have. I've had a lot of people trying to get me to do it, and I mean you know how it is. There's so much going on. I mean
Yeah,
you can't be everywhere all the time, and you just kind
no.
of got to choose what you're gonna do. And I always like seeing the people that I've talked to. I love watching the people race that I've talked to. That's why I'm so excited about this race this weekend. I mean,
Oh,
you're going to
yeah.
be there. Tyler McGee's going to be there. Colby Moore. Um, there's just going to be a bunch of people that I've talked to that are going to be there. And that's just a good time. That makes it way more fun when
Oh
there
my
are people
gosh.
there that you're, fans of, people that you've talked to.
Gonna be 40 to 50 late models.
Yeah.
40 to 50 of them. And like I say, we got some good runners. Kylan Garner, I feel like can run with anybody. Go stick him in the middle of a World of Outlaw race and see how he does. He'll do good, you know.
Yes.
And then you got your Brandon Concretes, you got Chris Bragg, Kip
Yep.
Hughes, um, Shane Cook is going to be our rookie of the year this year, and
Yep.
he probably doesn't have the biggest budget, but he's always there. He's always there. He's part of this racing family. He's always there, you know.
Yep.
I
Yep.
applaud him for doing that, you know. But it's
Yeah.
such a good group of late model guys, and they race really good together, you know. So some of them get crashing and banging and what have you. And some of these series you watch, we don't have that. We have photo finishes. We have, just stuff that leaves us scratching our head like, how did that happen? Three wide at a finish, you know?
Yeah.
But they never touch each other. And if they do, it's maybe just a tire rub or something. These guys are so good racing with each other.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
It really is.
yeah.
And you got some more. You got some heavy hitters coming in that aren't, revival guys. You got Wolf coming
Ooh,
in, you
yes,
know.
we do.
And I think, I mean, I'm not going to say a bunch of names. I know he's expected to be there, so I can say that. And then, I mean, I know there's going to be people there that I know that aren't, run revival all the time. There's some
Yep.
kids coming, young guys
Yep.
coming down that are good. So it's going to be exciting. It really is.
It's it's going to be a good one. It's going to be, and I myself think, and I might be playing favorites here, but I myself think that maybe the late models are put on the best show of the weekend. I've seen how these guys have been at track after track, different configurations, Nevada to Colby, Kansas to all over where it's big, and they're always side by side. And it's like, how do you guys do that? How do you do
Yeah.
that? So,
So how
so
excited are you about seeing the sprint cars and the late models together? Because I love that. I love seeing sprint cars and late models together in the same show. I think it's good for the sport because you bring in, you know, two different fan bases
you're
together in one
exactly
place.
right. You're exactly right. There's a fan base for sprint cars and there's a fan base for late models. Um, and I hope the place is packed
Me too.
because how many times do you get to see these groups of cars run together at a let's call it a stadium like that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I hope the place is full.
I do too.
It should be.
Have you ever been to that track?
I have never seen it before.
Me either. Me either. I don't
So
know. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, of course, and it looks like the grandstands are really big. And it looks like maybe Colin said he thought it was a big 3/8.
I think somebody says they called it a 4/10, so it's not quite a half
Okay.
mile. And that makes sense because I've been to the World Finals in Charlotte, and it's probably a copy of that track. That track
Okay.
there reminds me kind of the Western Kansas tracks where they got some legs to the straightaways, a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bigger, which Wichita is not a good comparison because it's bigger than that.
Oh,
Um,
81?
yeah, it's bigger than that. That is probably a third or 3/8 or something. But no, it should be if it's anything like Charlotte's track, it should be a good sized track.
Yeah.
Not Belleville, not Belleville.
That's what I've
you know.
heard. And somebody was telling me the other day that Belleville was, they thought maybe even bigger than Thunderbird. That's hard for me to believe, but because I
Oh,
know Thunderbird was an old horse track also, and that's the biggest track I've ever seen. Billy Moyer told me when I talked to him over there back in the summer, he said that he thought it had the biggest straightaways he'd ever seen. So I
Thunderbird.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. So Belleville is a complete circle.
that's
So
what Colin said. It's just a
they
big
they
circle.
never let off. They never let off. So it's extremely hard on valve train, but the people like the speed. It's got the speed. It's definitely has the speed. But Muskogee up there, Thunderbird has got, the typical straightaway and corner, but I
Right.
haven't seen that one yet. I have not
Oh,
seen. I
okay.
think next year I'm going to get to see it though. So
Yeah, I hope you do. I do. I
yeah.
love that place. I mean, that place is historic. I love it, and it's really cool, right in the middle of town, right there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like my Thunderbird. I really do.
It's just a short drive too. It's only a couple hours,
Yeah,
where I live, if a track is 6 hours or less, as soon as the checkered flag is thrown, I'll drive home. I won't stay the night. I'll drive home in the middle of the night. There's just less traffic and everything else.
yeah.
But like Belleville was 7.5 hours for me up there. So it'd
Mm,
take and spend the night with that. So I committed to these guys. I told them I would be their flagman, so they could put a race out in Colorado or somewhere. I'm going to be there. I won't miss one. I shook my hand and said I'll be there.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
but
should have asked Tyler about this if they're trying to actually, maybe get a race in Colorado or maybe New Mexico, but that may be too far. I don't know, but
oh yeah, I I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
it
know
might be
what they're.
hard to get Missouri guys to, head off that far.
Yeah, then you're almost getting into a national touring type situation, and that's a whole different ball game as far as financing. And
Yeah,
these guys all have jobs. We all have
yeah,
jobs, and we gather up as a racing family on the weekend, and we go have a great time. You know, And the difference between that is you can't have a job if you're going to go World of Outlaw type racing, you know.
No, you
So
can't.
so you got
You
to draw
can't.
the line. I think Tyler told me a 6 hour, if you go from their home base and you do a 6 hour circle around their home base is kind of where we're at, you know.
Okay.
So there's always the exception to the rule, though. We'll see what happens. So,
Yeah, but that gives a chance for they get far enough out there in West Kansas. It gives a chance for those New Mexico, Colorado people to hit some
yes.
races. I know the first one I went to at Creek County this year. Me and Tyler talked about this. There were some Colorado folks there. I do know that. Um,
Oh,
and that was kind of neat to see.
Probably Don Geist and his son,
Yep,
and you know,
Balderson,
there's a gal.
Balderson.
Yeah, yeah. There's a gal that runs with us when we're up in that area, Maria Hankins.
Wow,
So
that
yeah,
name sounds familiar.
there's about 5 or 6 Colorado people that always show up when we're over that way, you know. In
Yeah,
fact, Creek County was the first night that I was with the Revival Super Dirt Series.
really.
That
Well,
was my first night.
that was the first night that I started doing this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So
so
that,
that's pretty cool.
that was the first weekend. So
Yeah, how do you
but
like Creek County?
boy,
That's
is
kind
that
of a
small. That's a dome. That's
it
the St.
is, and
Louis
it's
Dome. If you want to go testing for that, go to Creek County.
yes, I totally
Nevada,
agree with you.
Nevada, Creek County, those would be good test areas for the dome.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Nevada. I have not been there yet. I'd like to check it out for sure.
Oh, it's like Kylan said last night, it's it'll raise the hair on the back of your neck a little bit because it is tight. But you know, it again after I left there, I thought, how did Tyler and Kylan do that? Everybody's still got their quarter panels and noses on. How did they just accomplish what they did? You know, because like you
Yeah,
said, they were slide jobbing and everything, and it worked. But it's a quality, I believe it's the quality of driver we have. We have such a
I
good quality of driver,
I would agree with you on that one
you know,
for sure.
and they have a lot of respect for each other. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So what's the
But
plan for next year, Chris? You gonna try to keep doing the same thing, or
yeah, yeah, the
okay?
Revival Super Dirt Series, I'll do that. And obviously, you know, Tyler, I don't know how many races he wants to put on. We'll see what happens. But, you know, the rain factor always comes in and takes a few of them away. But yeah, I plan on doing that, but that's not every weekend. If somebody somewhere needs some help, I'm more than happy to come and help. You know, I've done a little bit of race directing and that. I race directed the Spooker last year, not this year, but last
Okay,
year.
cool.
And I helped down at Arklatex a little bit. I did the practice night up at Lake Ozark Speedway. That's a nice place. I liked Ozark. That was fun.
Yeah, that's another one I'd like to check out.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. So yeah, I've done a little bit of that, and I can kind of look at the crowd and look at what admission is and ballpark a pretty close figure to what they have in there. And that's another thing too, is when I was growing up, you know, on the back side of me here, this black and white picture, that was my hero. He wasn't a NASCAR guy. He was a local guy, raced local only. But there was heroes at the racetrack. And I think we need to make heroes out of our drivers again,
Yes,
so they
sir.
become a must see when they come to town. You know,
Yes,
we
sir.
need to build up the Brandon Concrates, the Kylans, the Chris Braggs. We need to, I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, we need to build these guys up. And so when it's being advertised or coming, the whole town is going to sell the place out, you know?
Absolutely.
So because some of these like Colby, Kansas and Hayes, Kansas and all that up in the Northwest, when we come to town with 25 to 30 35 cars, that's their world 100 for the year.
Yeah.
You know, that's, and if we could get these guys so they're kind of household names up there, you know, let's build them up. You
Yeah.
know, so
Absolutely.
we're all
100%.
gonna work on that.
Who is that? Who is that in that picture?
You know, the guy's name was just Larry Smith. And
Larry
it's
Smith.
not the
Okay.
NASCAR Rookie of the Year 1972 Larry Smith. The guy's name is just Larry Smith.
Larry
And
Smith.
he's got a Ford Mustang with a Holman and Moody 429 in that car. And he won a lot of races, but he was running against Dick Trickle and all them guys, Mark
Wow.
Martin from that
Okay.
era. They would all hang tight. He was a 1973 NASCAR state champion in Minnesota.
Okay.
So, and I took a picture of him and I together. He's holding a gold dish that's got inscribed on it, state champion and all that. Yeah.
That's
So,
super cool. Super
so
cool.
yeah, I like the history of stuff. But I really, I wish, I don't regret anything that I've done up to this point, but I wish I could have been a flagman in my younger years and where I could have been right now doing it. I think I worked so hard at being a flagman, you
Yeah,
know.
you're a good one. I've watched you. I mean,
Oh,
it's
I
impressive to
try.
watch. You put on a show.
I try so hard, and you know what? I try not to let anything go to my head. There's nothing worse than somebody thinking that they're all that because they're on a flag
Yes.
stand. I put my pants on the same way as everybody else, and I'm not unapproachable,
Yeah.
In fact, it's the opposite. What
Oh,
do
I
I
know. I mean,
deserve?
we didn't. I like I said, I'd been to races and never met you. We met you at KMS, and man, I mean, I felt like after talking to you a little while, I'd known you forever. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
that's super awesome.
Yeah, I'm just a guy that's up on the flag stand trying to keep my guys safe. That's all it is. But I did have up at the one racetrack, I had Tracy Hinkle, her name is. Um, I wear checkered pants.
You do.
So
Yes, that's awesome.
every race I wear, that was my wife's idea too. My wife says you got to be different than everybody else. So she bought two pairs of checkered pants for me. So then along through the first season, one of the fans at the racetrack, Tracy Hinkle, bought me checker socks. So it just kind of went from there. So she spent her hard-earned money on socks for me. Those socks are on my feet every race night.
That's
Everyone.
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
there was a little girl that reached through the fence at the track and made me a little bracelet. That bracelet is on me for 2 years now.
Wow,
So I make
that's
sure
super
that
cool.
whenever I'm in the stand, that bracelet is on me.
That's cool.
So I won't even
That's
talk
cool.
about my underwear, but all I'm gonna say about that is if you're gonna play the part, play the part.
Absolutely. Go all
Yeah,
in.
I'm all in. Yep.
uh, that's great. Well, Chris, before we get off here, uh, I asked Colin to do this last night. For people watching Dallas Fort Worth area, anywhere in that area around Texas Motor Speedway, can you kind of pitch this race to me this weekend and tell people what they're going to see at that race?
Oh, what they're going to see is three classes of cars, first off, that never get together like this. And in those three classes of cars, there's two different groups of sprint cars coming together. They're merging together for this. And it's championship night for all three of those classes. There's going to be 40 to 50 late models. There's probably going to be 50 to 70 modifieds. And I'm guessing there'll probably be 40 to 50 sprint cars too.
That's
That
awesome.
doesn't ever happen like that. You normally have a track that has the sprint cars and they got their regular classes, or they have the late models or the modifieds. But we're having all three of them together in one shot. It's like the Super Bowl in Texas right there of
Heck
racing.
yeah.
You know, it's
100%.
it's it's going to be beyond words, of how big of an event this is going to be. And I think in the future, it's only going to get bigger. It's if Power Eye sanction body can keep doing this race, it's only going to get like the dome race. The crowd the first time around was maybe a little bit. Now they're almost selling the place out,
Yeah.
you know? I feel
Yeah.
like this event could be one of those crown jewel events throughout the country.
Yeah.
You know,
In
that's
our world, part of the world's crown jewel event. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
This time
absolutely.
of year.
There is going to be some huge local Texas talent down there. There is
Yeah.
absolutely no doubt about that. You know, if you don't know this guy in the late models, you're going to know the guy in the modifieds or sprint cars, or, you're going to be familiar with some of these names because there's going to be a bunch of Texas people,
Yeah.
but we got people coming to race late models from Iowa, from, I thought it was New Mexico. I mean,
Oh
we got
yeah,
them
I
coming
know
from all over
one
the
of them
place.
that's been on the show. I'm pretty sure she's going to be there. That's going to be awesome.
Oh,
So that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So,
And
no, it's going to be,
I think Chris, tomorrow night I've got a local Texas guy coming on the show, so that's going to be kind of cool.
oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I mean, I'm already getting my race face on, if that makes sense.
Oh, I hear
Um,
you. Same
I
here.
bring, what I do is I bring a portable flag holder, and because I don't want to disturb the local flagman's routine. So I have my own flag holder that I zip tie to their something, so I can put my flags in it. I've been getting that ready. I had to do some welding on it to make, yeah, I know how to weld, and I can put race cars and all that crap
Yeah.
together. But I've got that all ready to go. Um I'm just getting my flags and stuff all set to go. I bought two flags specific for this race because of the turbulence. They're much bigger flags, so they don't twirl up, or have a
Oh, I
problem with
got you.
them. I
Okay.
got $50 and one flag, so just for this one race,
Golly. Wow.
so I'm already getting my game face kind of on for this. My concentration level has got to be second to none. There cannot be any mistakes this weekend. So then I'll take a breath when I'm on my way home.
I hear you.
So
I hear you. I am super excited about it, and I know you are. And I can't wait. I can't wait for Friday to get here. I'm like you. I think I'm going to leave out really early Friday morning. I think they said the pit gates open at noon, so I definitely want to be there by then. And get started seeing folks and watching some great racing.
yeah,
Super
I
excited.
think I think we're gonna leave here. There's only about two towns between us and there. It's a wide open mountain country. We're gonna leave here about 6:30. Should put us there about 10:30. Because
Okay.
again, because again, I got a job to do right away. I got to go look at lights and switches and stuff like that. I got to get that first thing. There's nothing else I do. I go and do that first. And
Yeah.
then I go talk to that one gentleman and just say, this is what I see, you know,
Yeah.
and go from there. And again, that's not favoritism. I don't favor him because I pointed my finger at him a couple times.
Yeah.
But to keep him and the rest of my guys safe, that's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Chris, I appreciate you coming on here. It was super good talking to you. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, and can't wait to. Hopefully, I get to see you this weekend down there at Texas. I know you're going to be busy, and I'm going to be busy, but hopefully, I'll get to see you and at least say
You
hi
ever
to you
been
and
up in a
stuff.
flag stand before?
No, you don't. Can I get up there?
Yeah. Why
Awesome.
don't we just during I mean, if during the time trials or one of the heat races or something, if you want to climb up in the flag stand with me, you're more than welcome.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
great, Chris. I might have to take you up
absolutely.
on that. That
Then
that would
you
be really cool.
then you get a point of view of things. You get a
Yeah.
point of view of what stuff really is.
Definitely. Definitely.
So
Yes, Chris, I'll take you up on that for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you want to come up a little bit each night or something or whatever you want to do. So
Yeah. I just, I just don't want to be in anybody's way. You know what I mean? I'm
no,
always
you
worried
ain't gonna
about
be.
being in somebody's way.
You ain't
either
gonna be
guys
in my
working on the car or, people working at the track, you're always, everybody's busy. So,
yeah.
and you just kind of have to, but that is super cool. I definitely
Yeah,
would
no.
take you up on that.
No, you come up and hang out on the backside of the flag stand there and just see what's going on, and you'll kind of see what I do and what have you. And that's another thing I forgot to tell you is I count my laps. I don't I don't rely the race director doesn't call down to me. I figure this much. All these race directors have enough to do up there keeping track of stuff. They don't need to babysit the flagman, so I count laps. I don't have a handheld thing. I just physically count laps is what I do. I have the My Race Pass live up next to me. So when the caution comes out, sometimes the race director will put it a lap back, or if there's not enough cars that went over, they'll put it a lap back or whatever they do. So I just double check where we're at there, but I don't have no problem counting laps. So that's something I've
Wow.
always done. Aside from all the cautions and chaos and everything else, I do count my own laps.
That's impressive. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
I just I just work really, really hard at it, and I take it really serious.
Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing more to it. So,
Well, I certainly appreciate what you do, and I'm sure everyone else does, Chris. I mean, I have seen you in action. It is, you are fun to watch.
I'll just
Flagging and
hang
racing.
tight. I don't know what I'm gonna do this weekend. Nothing is ever planned. Nothing is
Yeah.
ever planned. I haven't fallen out of a flag stand yet, so that's a good thing. So,
Yes, please don't.
but I just, them guys got lots of money in their series. They got lots of effort. They got a
Right.
lot of money in race cars. I'm just a little guy up there. I'm not going to stand still. I am going to put a show on because them guys have lots of money. The series has lots of time and effort. I'm going to give them a show.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
what it
awesome.
is. And
I've
I
seen it.
can't help myself. So,
I hear you. I hear you. Well, Chris, thank you very much for coming on here. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and I cannot wait to get down there and see you and everybody else this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway, the dirt
oh,
track.
get back with my racing family. I don't know what I'm going to do all winter long. I'm going to have withdrawals. I'm used to my racing family.
I
We
hear
go
you.
to Concrete. We go to Concrete's trailer for a little bit of lunch or supper once in a while, and you got Kylan and everybody else in there having lunch. Shane Cook normally brings beef from his farm, and God, I'm going to miss that over the winter. I'm going to have to drive up to Kansas and see them guys.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you. Well,
okay.
thanks for coming on, Chris. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for giving the Revival Super Dirt Series some good publicity here. They deserve
Hey,
every bit of it.
they got me started, Chris. I mean, it's my honor to help them out
Oh,
any way I can.
them two guys, the sky is the limit for what's going to happen with them two guys. They're so
Yes, sir.
good at what they do. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Chris. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. We'll see you Saturday or
All right. See
Friday.
you Friday.
All right.
See you
See you
Friday.
later.
Bye
You
bye.
bet. Bye bye.